Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Jay and Will Show. I am Jay.
I'm Will.
We are back with week 2 NFL predictions this week. Shout out to Will for the Finish This Fight throwback shirt, trying to bring some good energy, some good mojo around these parts. So before we start the week 2 predictions, we'll just take a step back and review what happened last week. So week 1 predictions, obviously week 1 is not concluded. And based off of our predictions last week, Will edged us to ask me out this week with 7 correct picks to my 6. Continuing the trend of last year for whatever reason. So we'll see how it goes this week. I'm just gonna start picking random stuff just to see if I can get this over the hump a little bit.
So week 2 is if you're going to do random, week 2 is a good one to do it because that's
it's a couple. I still don't know what to do.
But yeah, but I see it as like some of them will be a course correction, some of them might just be separating themselves. So this week's going to be interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So this week, we are recording before Thursday night games, so we'll actually be able to include that in this week's predictions. So we'll have predictions for all 16 games that are coming up this week in week 2. We will actually start with the Thursday night game that's coming up this week. We have the New York Giants Vision and Washington football team. Well, how you got that one going?
I got Washington. Chase Young didn't do anything last week. He got blocked up. I forgot the tackle's name, but that's who a ton of folks were. So a bunch of people wanted Dallas to look at getting because they couldn't get either cornerback. They said they need to go ahead and get this.
Is it Rashawn Slater?
Yes, yeah, that's him. Because he did the same thing to Chase in college as well, locked him up. So that. I think he's gonna be looking at his chops, want to ball out. It's gonna be interesting because his Magic is out for 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks or something like that.
I'm not sure. I know he's at least that. I know they put him on the IR, so he'll be out at least 4 weeks because of that. So
it's gonna be interesting, but I think Washington's defense is gonna. Points, about under 300 yards of total offense or something like that, like something bad since Jason Garrett has taken over. So I got Washington taking this game over because of their defense.
Yeah, that's same here. Even last week the Giants just looked a mess, but again, we've seen this before. We saw it for a decade, damn near. So we're not surprised, obviously, by the anemic offense that the Giants have been able to put up. So with this, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, it's kind of a toss-up with as far as Washington's quarterback situation. But I don't think it'll matter too much. I think the defense will be good enough to carry them. Especially with it being a short week, they'll kind of lean on that, I'm sure, more than anything, and just try to keep the game away from his hands. Try to do what they can to minimize his impact and make sure that they're able to kind of, hide him, so to speak, with that defense. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of running in this game on both sides of the field. From New York's perspective and from the Washington's perspective, because neither quarterback. So yeah, I agree with you.
Running will be good because that'll make the game that much quicker. They keep that.
Running will be good. Yes, running will be good. Yeah, because that one is not. I don't know if I'm watch that one. But yeah, so I agree with Will. I'm going to go with Washington as well. This next game, when I say my prediction, I'm going to literally be just deciding right there because I do not know. Cincinnati Bengals visiting Chicago Bears. The reason why I'm hung up on this is because Cincy did well last week. They beat Minnesota last week. But that offensive line is not very good. And so I'm looking at their offensive line and then Chicago's front four, or front seven, really, honestly. And look at that as issues for Joe Burrow potentially. Where I'm stuck is that I don't necessarily trust Chicago's offensive line. So I don't know if their offense is going to be able to do anything. If even if the defense does play well, I don't know how much they're going to be able to capitalize off of that because their offensive line is bad. And Nagy has this obsession with Andy Dalton for whatever reason and doesn't want to hand the reins over to Justin Fields. So I don't know how much of Justin Fields we'll see in the game. I think if we had a better idea of that, that may kind of give us a clearer way to go because I do feel like Justin Fields fits that team better because of the lack of a protection offensive line. His mobility helps kind of save them from that a little bit. So it's kind of one of those things where it depends on how much Justin Fields plays. But I have no idea. I'm gonna go with the Bengals on this one. Only because I can't trust Nagy doing the right thing. And like I said, I think it may take them kind of starting off slow, maybe going 0-2, 0-3 for them to be like, all right, fine, we got to give them the keys. So this may be one of those games where they look at it and think, oh, it's Cincinnati, we should be able to win. And then they lose, and then maybe like, okay, wait, we may need to rethink what we're doing here. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati now. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's weird that Chicago is staying steady with the worst starting quarterback out of the two, or choosing out of the two, you choose the worst one to start. But I also think it also protects Fields from being shell shocked as well, because it's been plenty of talented QBs that get shell shocked from bad offensive lines, not being able to protect them so well. Because I mean, even with Dak, we saw that for at least almost a half of a season plus. Because after that Atlanta game, like he was shook.
Yeah.
You could see he was shook, and they finally got it together after a while. I got Cincy in this one as well. Joe Burrow, he gonna ball out. I think he'll be able to move around enough, running from Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith as well. So, but I think that with the injury that he had last year, that he's going to end up getting better and better about getting the ball out really quick, just to be able to protect himself, which also means like shorter routes as well. But they also know that he can release that thing as well. So whenever they need to blow the top off just to keep the defense honest, he has the skill and talent to be able to do that. So, but yeah, I got Cincy in this one.
Say, shout out to Jamar Chase, man. He balled last week.
Yeah. He was actually catching.
Yeah. It was like, also, this is what it looked like. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next game on the docket. Houston Texans coming off of gotta say it's an impressive win. I mean, impressive win. This week though, they go to Cleveland to face the Browns. How you got that one shaking up?
It's Cleveland, by far one of the most talented teams. They would have won last week if it wasn't for that the fumble punt, and then that was just a bad throw right there at the end with the interception. It probably would have been best to just take the sack, especially instead of just making a throw, but. It's Monday morning quarterback stuff right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Cleveland taking this one. They have one of the more talented rosters in the league.
Yeah, I got Cleveland as well. I'll just say Houston. Okay. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's Jacksonville, but people
Yeah.
were looking at Houston and Jacksonville as even as far as how bad they're going to be. For them to beat the brakes off of them, it's kind of impressive. But
Yeah.
not this week. Sorry. Back to reality. I got Cleveland picking winning that game as well. I think it's just too much talent on that defensive end. And I just don't know if Houston. I mean, sure, it was Jacksonville, so it is what it is. But
Yeah.
not this week. Sorry. Next game, the LA Rams visiting the Indianapolis Colts. I did the game
It's like last week.
I was wrong. I'm going with the Rams in this one. I was really impressed with how they played against Chicago Sunday night, and Matthew Stafford looks like the real deal in that offense. He looks like the missing piece. So, obviously, Indy's got a good defense. We know that. But Russie threw all over them this past week. So they're obviously susceptible to that. Tyler Lockett had 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf had a touchdown. So they were throwing all over the field. So I don't see why Stafford and those boys can't do the same thing. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win that one. How you feel about it?
Man, we're going step for step for the early part. Yeah, I got the Rams too, but I was going more defensively for the Rams. I think that Stafford will take a step back from last week because he was like 2 points or 2 percentage points or something crazy away from a perfect QBR. So I think he'll take a step back. It's not necessarily because of the Colts defense, but just the natural thing.
It's back to reality a little bit.
Yeah. I don't see him playing that type of ball for the whole year. And I think Indy actually can play much better defense than what they showed last week, especially in the air. But I got the Rams defense being that big difference because they had a top run defense, top pass defense. They got Jalen Ramsey moving all over the field.
Oh my God!
And he was playing more like a slash, like between a defensive back and linebacker, basically
slash safety, slash everything.
Yeah, he just they moving around, which is smart. Because if you kept him on one side, then they're not going to throw. He get bored and everything else. But if you actually move him around, now they have to look for him. You actually disrupt him where to actually be able to throw the ball. So it's that's really smart. And plus, he likes to get his nose up in there and get some tackles as well. Like he don't mind hitting, which is just fun to watch.
Go ahead.
The way that they can actually put it together, I got that the defense winning it for them.
Man, that Jalen Ramsey thing that you brought up, I'm glad you brought that up because I was just like watching that and they were talking about on the telecast, like that just to me, I just unlocked the different level to that defense, because now you have to account for him. Mm-hmm. You just kind of, like you said before, it was kind of like, all right, what side is he on? All right, half that field is gone. So now I'm just on this side. But now he's all over the place. You can't do that. And so now as an offense, you have to adjust to now account for, all right, where's number 5 at? Where's number 5 at? Because that's gonna obviously dictate your progression. So that was that. I mean, the Rams, bro, like I'm gonna overreact for a second and just say that if Stafford, obviously, he doesn't have to play it perfect, but if he gives them like a consistent facilitating because Stafford's arm is obviously one of the better arms in the league, but he also doesn't make a ton of mistakes. And I don't know about golf because I want to dish golf, but he just seems to have a better grasp of everything. I'll never forget when I remember, I don't know if it was the Cowboys game last year that was on Sunday night that I heard this, but I remember hearing it from somewhere where they get out of huddles quickly so that he can hear from the coach or the OC what coverage you're in to know, all right, they're in cover 2, so you got to play this. They're in cover 3, they're playing man. It's like, if you can't compute that, like, that's a problem. So I know I don't have to worry about that with Stafford because I know he can do that because his offensive line was so bad, he had to know what they were in or know how to get out of the way. So he had to know different coverages, stuff like that. So the reason why I mentioned overreacting is because I feel like, honestly, if he could play at a high level like that, I would not be shocked if he won MVP just because of where he could take that team. Obviously, they're in the AFC West, the best division in football, head and shoulders above the rest of them. But if he play like that,
it's gonna be tough.
That's tough. That's tough to beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next game. Buffalo Bills, visiting the Miami Dolphins. How you got that one shaking out, bro?
I got Buffalo. They should have won last week. I don't know what happened. They should have won last week. I think they're going to come out and with a vengeance because they know they should have beat Pittsburgh. So they're going to show this is a divisional game as well. Right. One thing you got to do is win those divisional games. So I think Buffalo going to show up and beat Miami to get that, to try to grab that division quick and early and just hold on to it. So, yeah, I got Buffalo.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, at this point, they already lost, so they're already behind the division. And Miami won last week, so Miami's, that those games may end up meaning something more down the road, even though it's only 2. But, you've already kind of cost yourself a game that you were supposed to win. So you got to make up one of those games at some point. And this is an opportunity to do that. But we're in lockstep again because I have Buffalo winning that game as well. They can't afford to lose that game. And Tua was okay. He wasn't great. And I just think, they may be better than people think, Miami overall. But they ain't better than Buffalo. So Buffalo got to take care of business and handle that because they can't afford to go down. Because if they lose that game, they're 0-2 and Miami's 2-0. So now you're really behind 2 games. So
and you lost a divisional game.
Exactly. They can't afford it. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo as well, just because they kind of have to, honestly. This game, another toss up for me. The New England Patriots going to the Meadowlands to play the New York Jets. I'm picking in New England this one. Not particularly firm on that because I picked them last week and they cost me last week. But I feel like quarterback play is probably about even. So I'm just going with coaching. And Belichick, obviously, we know the resume. This is obviously going to be Robert Saleh's second game only. So there may be an opportunity for Belichick to welcome him to the league a little bit. So I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one to be the Jets.
Yeah, these first several games have been too easy. Yeah, it's New England. They have a better roster. Yeah, they got and it's 2 rookie quarterbacks, but New England does have a better roster, especially with the defense being back after opting out last year. So I got New England as well.
And that was one thing too, last week that New England's defense showed up. They only gave up 17 points, but their offense just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So hopefully the defense will be able to hold it down, for enough time for that offense to get acclimated and kind of catch up to them, so to speak, before it's too late. But we will see. Next game, San Francisco 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia last week. Okay, I heard you. I heard you. Yeah, I heard you. Jalen Hurts looked like he was the real deal in that game. Possibly one of the steals of the fantasy draft. Ed, congratulations. But huge performance obviously last week against Atlanta, and boy, they in trouble. But I'm going with Philadelphia in this one. San Francisco's kind of in a bit of a situation. They just lost their running back for the year. The guy they have now, I didn't know what his name was until this morning. So they seem to always find these running backs. Yeah. Just kind of off the scrap heap that they're able to, find success with. So I'm not saying necessarily a deal breaker, but if Philly can kind of maintain what they established last week, I'm not saying they're going to blow them out like they did Atlanta, but I think their offense has shown that they're up to something. Something is working. They figured out something. And so for that reason, I'm going to pick them to beat the 49ers this week.
Even though I have San Fran losing the division, or being in last place in that division, they're going to beat Philly though.
Okay.
Yeah,
you got them last place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's really not a put down though. Last
no, it's not. It's the best. It's the best division. I just like, you know what, and we'll get to it. But Arizona, another one of those teams was like, okay, we heard you.
Yeah.
Arizona and Philly was like, all right, we heard you, bro. We heard you.
I think Philly going to take a step back this game. Like, yeah, he balled out last week, but I think this week is going to take a step back to a little bit what we're closer to used to see. I'm not saying like he's going to be bad, but it's just going to be a little bit more of what we've seen before as far as Jalen Hurts. So I think San Fran going to win this one, even though their running backs out for the year.
We finally got one that we're different on. It's about time. All right, next game, the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. How you got that one going?
And both of these teams should be 0-1.
They should be. They should be. Absolutely.
Like, what?
How did Pittsburgh win that game, bro?
This is actually a pretty tough one. I feel like these two teams are really close. I think these two teams will be fighting for that for a wild card spot. And this game could end up being that difference, trying to get into the playoffs. Big Ben's old.
Oh, it's old.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. Yeah, Raiders got to travel cross country, and it's an early game. Yeah, it's an early game. I take Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders just because I still have no faith in Big Ben whatsoever. I think
me neither, but it's just a travel.
yeah. Like last week was a fluke, and I can't do it. And I watched that game like.
Yeah.
Oh my God! How is he still? Anyway, but
that's why I said like he's old.
Why wouldn't they like? If you, I shouldn't say this, but I don't care. If you don't feel confident that Dwayne Haskins can be that guy if Ben goes down, why don't you just go sign Cam Newton? It's okay. I mean, assuming obviously, vaccination aside.
Yeah.
I mean, and if that's the reason why, then I get it. But if that's not the reason why, because Lord, every time Ben steps back, I feel like he's about to get hurt. Like, it's just I don't know.
It's bad.
It is bad. All right. Next game, New Orleans Saints visiting the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh wee. Now they did some last week, right?
Yeah, they did. James got 20/20 vision.
If he would have got LASIK in college, this is what he could have did at Florida State that second game.
Bruh. All that he won't be no more memes of him squinting. Look at him. That boy. That boy's nice, man. Hey, listen, they scheming him up something nice. I got New Orleans winning this game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, until you prove me otherwise, I gotta go. I mean, they looked really, really good. And Carolina obviously is not Green Bay. So not saying that he's gonna do the same thing again, but he's also a good enough start I feel like for him to get confidence. Hopefully he doesn't get too confident and start reverting back to his old stuff. But good start, man. I'm happy for him, man. It just sucks against it's with the Saints because I don't want to ever root for them, but that's my guy. So good for him. I know
I think that it won't be a same baller game like the 5 touchdowns and whatnot, but I think he'll toss a few of them and they'll end up winning. Carolina's still trying to figure themselves out. Darnold's still trying to figure out that offense. They played a bad New York team last
Yeah.
week, so they was able to do basically whatever they wanted to do. So I think with that, New Orleans is a better squad overall. And Sean Payton is Sean Payton, so with him, they always got a chance.
Yeah.
That with him dealing with the offense. So I got New Orleans too.
And it's also worth mentioning that defense looked legit. That
Yeah.
they looked legit against Green Bay.
Yeah, they pawed.
That first 7 is nice, bro. Why we can't? Never mind. Next game, Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos go visit the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So, how far down do you think it will be till Jacksonville wins a game?
That's a great question.
Because it's going to be a while. They ain't winning this one.
No, they're definitely not. They're absolutely not winning this one. The only game I can think of is like maybe they can steal a division game, like either a Jets game. Either another Texans game, not Indy.
They beat Indy last year, didn't they?
They did. That was only one. They won. They beat Indian game the first week of the season, and they lost the rest of their games.
Yeah.
So I think it would probably either be the return game against Houston, or
they played the Jets, so that might be their chance right there.
I think the Jets will beat them. Though.
So so they have a 2-week stretch of where they have a chance. It's in December. Houston and New York.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, they play Atlanta. So they might have.
They got shot, and it's at home. Yeah, they probably won that.
Yeah, so yeah, they got 3 games that they have a chance to win.
They might go 3-14.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. We'll see. But they ain't winning this one though.
No, absolutely, absolutely not. And again, this is another L. I am curious to see how this works because I'm sure you've heard these alleged rumblings about Urban looking at USC. Yeah, right, exactly. Elizabeth, I'm coming home. It's the big one. So yeah, I don't know how long he's going to last getting his ass beat for 10 weeks in a row. When he looks up and he's 0-10, how committed is he still going to be to this transition to the league? Obviously, he's not used to losing, and obviously, Trevor Lawrence isn't used to losing either. But I'm sure Trevor knows the team was 1-15 last year, and he's not going to win them 8 games by himself. So
exactly,
it is what it is. But yeah, curious to see how this goes with Urban Meyer. But yeah, that's definitely an L for sure. So that is the end of the.
What's the letter?
Exactly. It's a loud day. That is the end of the early games, so we will transition to the late games. First late game on the docket: Minnesota Vikings visiting the Arizona Cardinals. What say you on that?
Arizona comes closer to the ground. It comes closer back to earth. But they're still going to end up winning this one, though. Minnesota did not look good, so I guess this might end up being the end of Cousins and I don't want to blank the coach from.
Oh God, we just have they don't know nothing about what they talking about.
Yeah,
former Cowboys coach.
Yeah,
yeah,
but I see him. It could end up being the end. Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, thank you, Mike Zimmer. That's right.
Yeah, so this could end up being the final season for them too, in Minnesota. But yeah, I got Arizona winning this one.
Yeah, I had them win this game too. Chandler Jones, like, okay.
He had that tackle come out and apologize to the team and to the fans.
He had no choice. Man, look,
he just had a Hall of Fame game on me.
Right. You lucky we was at home, bro. She would have to find a way back.
Yeah, no, kicked them out the locker room.
They probably did. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. All right, Arizona, we see. Okay. Next late game. It'll take long to go through this one. Atlanta versus Tampa.
So How many points do you think they'll win by?
Ooh. Atlanta gave up 30, was it 32
Mm-hmm.
to oh my God.
Yeah,
If they give up 32 to Philly.
it's gonna be some nasty.
And it's in Tampa. They might not score because Tampa's defense is already pissed off because they got shown up
Yeah, Dak
and they
showed them
had
up.
10 days to prepare.
Yeah.
That's not good. I would say it's at least, I say it's gotta be, I don't know what the spread is. I probably should look, but it's gotta be at least 4 touchdowns, no?
It's gonna be nasty. They
Yeah,
probably got the
like
spread at least by 8, I would think. But yeah, it's gonna be nasty, something nasty.
I have to look this up now. I need to know what the spread is for this game.
As since we got to say, so how many points? How many points we saying?
Because
There might be more.
I think it's gonna be more than 8. Let me see. Because bro, y'all lost to.
It's 12 and a half.
I just saw it. Yeah, that's more. That's more. I'd still go over. That's still
nasty.
That's still a little low. But yeah,
Yeah.
you give up 32 points to Philly, which Philly's offense is great. Don't get me wrong, but they ain't Tampa Bay. So yeah, 12 and a half. That's I figured it made double digits. I thought it would be like more like 14 and 15, but yeah, man, they stink. So put a pin in that one to see how much they end up winning by.
Yeah.
My main event of the week, and I'm sure yours as well. Dallas Cowboys strolling to SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. How you feel? How you feel about that?
I think they'll actually be able to run the ball a little bit more in this one with Zach being back, so they'll have a little bit better inside push. It just sucks with the Lyle thing. 85, you got a 130 tests that you pass. These 7 that you missed, and part of them is from COVID shutdown. Say, what the hell?
So what are you supposed to do?
Exactly. So I got Dallas winning this one. It's gonna be a good game though. It's gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, I got Dallas winning this one. I just hope Justin doesn't pay attention to Anthony Brown.
I'll just say I'm picking the Cowboys, but I'm nervous because just the same way that Chandler Jones wrecked that game last week, Joey Bosa could do the exact same thing if he lines up against Terrence Steele.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if it's the point to where they know that they can't pass the ball and they have to depend on the run game, and they decide to load the box, do we have enough time, or does Dak have enough time to make something out of that? That's my concern.
If they wouldn't be able to throw the ball, I think that at that point they would have to move Zach out there. I think they'll have to.
I just don't have faith in them making that adjustment in game.
That's right.
That's my only thing. Because even listening to Jerry talk about it, it was almost like it wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
Like it was more like, hey, are we starting Tyler Sicky or are we starting Brandon Steele or Terrence Steele? Yeah. So it almost like it didn't even cross their minds, which I mean, it's almost like, and this is kind of how it was last year, right? Where it took them a couple games to be like, all right, let's do it. Because they almost feel like they had to be smarter than everybody else to try and make it work without just, seeing what's obviously in your face. You start the best 6 people you have available. And neither Ty Nsekhe nor Terrence Steele are in that top 6. So it seems like an easy fix, but I don't know. And Kyler showed he played well enough last week to where you can trust him to play right guard. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. If they do that you just mentioned, if they do see that it's not working and make the adjustment to move him outside, then I would feel a lot better about it. But man, man.
Yeah.
That right side made Adrian Claiborne an NFL career out of nothing. Nobody
Yeah.
knew who he was, and he stayed in the league for like 4 more years after that, just off of that one game. And then he didn't get another sack the rest of his career, I don't think. But he got money off of those 4 sacks.
Yeah.
And I just that's what's in my mind is like, Lord, because obviously Joe Bosa is a hell of a lot better DN than Claiborne. So that makes me nervous. But Jerry also did mention that he didn't have help. So I'm sure they're going to keep a tight end on the side.
Sure.
Or maybe, like you said, obviously Zeke will have to be a pass pro probably more than we would like him to be. Rather have him out as a passing option.
Yeah.
But we are in the position that we are in, so we gotta do what we gotta do. But yeah, I also
Zeke balled out pass blocking.
He was fantastic. I'm just saying I would rather him be able to produce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been great, and maybe this might be a big Tony Pollard day.
Yeah.
If they can do some two running back sets and keep Zeke in and let Pollard either do like a wheel route or kind of out in the flat and get some opportunities to make some guys miss on defense. One guy he won't be able to make miss is Derwin James. He won't miss. But anybody else may have a shot. So we'll see. It'll be a good game. But we cannot go down 1-2. Sorry. All right. Next game. This is another potentially good game. Potential. Tennessee Titans visiting the Seattle Seahawks. I'm picking Seattle on that one just because Tennessee defense did not appear to be there last week.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Rusty can do what he did against Indy's defense, then he should be able to be successful against Tennessee's defense as well. And I'm not sure what Tennessee got going on offense, but they didn't look good last week either. So for that reason, I will go with the Seahawks on that one.
I want Seattle as well. Henry only have like 50 yards rushing. Plus, Seattle will be at home. The crowd is back as well. They're going to be rocking. So, yeah, I got Seattle in that one. They're going to try to put on a show.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun environment, man, for sure. Sunday night game. Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Baltimore Ravens. How you feel about that one?
Taking Kansas City. Baltimore has too many injuries, especially, and that's part of why they end up losing to Oakland. Those injuries, trying to have Lamar do too much. Those injuries it's going to be a struggle for them this year. But yeah, I got Kansas City win this one.
I did too, but they can't play around like they played around against Cleveland, I don't think. They gotta. I mean, that'll catch up to them eventually. I'm not saying it will this week, but they can't let that. This could be a really good game if they are able to get there, or if Baltimore is able to get their running backs acclimated, because obviously they didn't play that much last night. I think Murray played, but Devontae Freeman didn't play, and Le'Veon Bell didn't play. So I think they're just kind of letting them get acclimated to the offense and stuff like that before they actually play them in the games. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that works with that that kind of dynamic in the backfield. But yeah, I got Kansas City win this game, but they got lucky last week. I ain't gonna lie, they got lucky. So we'll see how it goes. Monday Night Football. I don't even know why they're on, but they're on. Detroit Lions visiting the Green Bay Packers.
Got to get every team got to get one, right? Green Bay going to get this one. Rodgers got to prove himself after last week, or not necessarily prove himself, but just rebound.
Yeah, they got to bounce back. And they are picking that. That's a good team to bounce back off of.
Yeah.
Detroit, although Detroit played well last week, and it is at home. You're right. They did play well at home. They played a good fourth quarter because they were getting killed. But they came back. Kittle made a really weird error on the onside kick. They gave them a chance to score again, and they did. So kudos to them. But Yeah, no, they're not getting that. That's not happening against Green Bay. I don't think. I think Green Bay has been killed last week, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Any outside of, I think we kind of touched on Arizona and New Orleans. Any takeaways from last week that you're kind of interested to see how it transitions into week 2?
No, I just want to see. I'm more interested in week 2 to 3. That's where it's start to see if it's starting to trend a certain way. That first game, that you can end up having overreaction. But let me see week 2 going into 3 and say, okay, maybe, yes, maybe. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'll just say the only thing I'm looking at is my eyes will be glued to the Eagles because let me tell you something. The only team I'm worried about in the division is the Philadelphia Eagles because of the injury to Fitzpatrick. Unless they do something to quarterback, Taylor Heineke, okay. Not that he's not bad because he actually played well when they played Tampa Bay in the playoffs. So he's not a scrub or anything like that. But man, like I feel like the only comparable offense to what we have is Philadelphia if they can keep it consistent. And I feel like their front 7 is better than our front 7. And you kind of touched on that last week. So that combination, their defense being better than our offense, obviously our offense is better than their offense, but depending on how things go, it may not be by much. So that kind of makes me nervous. So my eyes will be glued. I just got red zone, so I'll be on it next week because I gotta see this. I gotta see this. If they do that against San Francisco, I'm gonna be like, okay. So like you said, maybe week 2 to week 3 is the more. Because you kind of get more of a sample size to see if it's legit or is it just a week to week league like we hear all the time, which it has proven to be. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you won't win again this week. Did you have time to think of a gift or a punishment or a gag or anything for me?
Yes. So you're gonna have to watch Rogue One and live tweet it.
Guys, this is a thing.
He's never seen any Star Wars.
The only
movie.
I saw the one with
Ren.
That's it. That's the only one I saw. We went to go see it together. The one that had Charles Gambino in. That's the only one I've seen. So how long is this movie?
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, cool. I thought that job should be like 3 hours. So, okay. Rogue One. I got a lot tweeted. Okay. Is there a specific time that I need to watch this? Like, do I need to watch it just so you can fact check to make sure I'm watching it, or can I just watch it whenever?
I just watch it. Watch it before next recording. Week. Yeah, before next week.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie. That's gonna be interesting. Okay, Rogue One. I don't even know which one. Is that the first? I don't even know which one that is.
It's a tweener. So it's that part of the first original 3 or the second set. It's like right there in the middle, going from the newer or the mid ones to the newer ones, but I just want you to watch it. It's something that I want you to see, and I want to see what your reaction is.
Oh, this was okay. This is one of the recent ones.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, I thought this was gonna be one of them old ones when
no.
The Return of the Jedi or something. Okay, no, that's cool. That's awesome. All right, I can do that. And I'll give you a book report after that next week about what I thought about it. But yeah, I will live tweet it as well, and I will tag you in every single tweet. All right. Anything else before we wrap this one up, man?
No, man. That was fun.
Yes, sir. As always. Appreciate you guys for watching. We owe you guys another video, which we will put up. It'll probably be up this weekend sometime in regards to division winners and Super Bowl picks. But for now, thank you guys for watching as always. Any kind of predictions you want to put in the chat and the comments, feel free to do that. Anything you want to see from us, certainly put that in the comments as well. As I've mentioned before, we are on Glowstone Sports, but there are also other channels that are under our umbrella. Glowstone Geeked is another channel under the Glowstone Productions umbrella. My brother Will and Rel have a lot of commentary in regards to geek culture, bleak culture, black geek culture, and everything else that goes along with just culture in general, man. Because y'all's array is getting a little bit wider, so I appreciate that. And then also we have the For Your Ambition channel with our guy Daryl, who's doing a great job of getting a lot of folks in to discuss better ways for us to grow internally as a community. They've been discussing a lot of different things as far as investments and business ownership, entrepreneurship, ways to grow the community in a positive way. So please make sure it's the number 4, Your Ambition is a YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe to that. So that's it. That's all the selling I'm going to do. Appreciate you guys for watching. For Will, I am Jay. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Wait. Well, you'll see us before next week, because on top of the division winners and Super Bowl picks, you will also get a reaction from us on Sunday following the end of the Cowboys Chargers game. So you'll see a lot of us soon. So appreciate you guys. Peace out, and see you this weekend.